So this is the second coat now of the Parrot. I will put this picture on my Facebook Fine Artist page, so that's Tina Martin Fine Artist. We're going to re-wet, so very quick. We don't want to shift any of the paint that's already on there. So you've literally got a full brush of water to ensure that paint doesn't move. You're not putting any pressure on this brush at all. You're just skimming the surface very, very lightly and just making sure everything is wet again. So I've got a bit of a puddle in the middle there. So once you've got it all wet, we're now going to sharpen up some of the areas. Let's get rid of some of that water. I'm going to get a slightly finer brush this time, and it's now a case I can add in extra information. It doesn't matter if this dries a little while I'm preparing for this. So I'm going to put a little bit of blue along that top edge to do fine brush, fine lines. I'm going to put some, we're not going for a visual representation of this, we're going for an impression. So what I'm going to do is get some of my red, may have to just thicken this up a little, just get some off the palette, put it to one side of your mix. I'm going to put some lines of movement through. Sorry, I'm at a slightly twisted angle again. So we've got the impression now of the feathers. If you want to get a feel of those ones that are shorter, you can just do a little movement in there. Again, almost just taking directly off your palette, just putting a little bit of water with it. He's slightly darker under his chin, so I'm just going to bring that in and maybe darken his chest up a bit with this thicker paint. So be very gentle. If you get movement onto, say, the face where you don't want it, squeeze your brush out completely and just lift it back. And in actual fact, I can lift back to the white of the eye there, so that's good. The tail, same thing, a little bit of red, taking in some lines. For the other wing, we're going to work with the blue. Again, just getting this and doing some fan lines. So remember, the movement goes round to get that feeling of the twist. I think I'm going to put a little bit of blue along the edge, chiefly because I made my pencil line a little bit dark. So we've got the feel of this wing tipping over towards us. There's a little bit of dark on the beak, so I'll just quickly make up a tiny bit of dark, though I could do this when it's dry. So this is burnt umber and ultramarine, just tapping in. And again, squeeze off and just lift off. And we will put some detail work over the top of this. Got a dry spot there. Then we can do a little bit in the background, so I can just maybe go into my sap green and just begin to bring in a little bit of something and nothing that's going on in the background. This is merely a backdrop to this bird. So at the moment it will still look slightly undefined, but it will come together on the next bit I do. So the next bit will be done dry. Might just intensify up that tail again, so while it's drying I can sort of add a little more in. And as it begins to dry, you'll find that the lines become more pronounced. So I can do the same on these wings, just very gently. And you'll see the lines begin to stay where you put them a little bit more. You can even make a little loop, if you want, under the wing, under the feather, and you'll see how that wing begins to take form. Maybe a little line. I might do some of this dry. Just want the head to appear a little bit more. Maybe 1 or 2 lines in the tail again. And again. If you put something on and you don't like it, say I don't like that wide bit, just very gently squeeze your brush out and you can actually lift and shape with that. So I can remove something I don't quite like. But it's quite nice, this broad effect. So it's very, very broadly done. I think that blue line is a little bit harsh. So what I might do is, while it's still wet, get a tiny bit of let down blue and just put a tiny bit more blue on there. So that blue line isn't so prominent. That's better. And that's your next bit.